I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any additions to the agenda?
Yes, we need to add 4A.
Lisa
Paul's
Grove?
pay. Lisa
Okay.
Gauser.
And I'd like to make 6.
Sorry. Rub, yes. You'd like to-
I'd like to make 6 a consent agenda part. Can I do that, Madam Attorney? Yes, would be the proper word.
So it was advertised on the regular agenda,
All it is a proclamation.
but you guys have the ability to put it on consent, yes.
Okay. I would like to put number 6 on consent. Anything else? All in favor say aye. Any opposed, no, and the ayes have it, motion carried. Public comments. Karen Bisco. Please, is over our 3-minute.
Reason I'm here is I talked to Angel this morning and we had talked to our South Davidson Family Resource Board, and we want to get more involved with the community, meaning, I know y'all have some new events that are starting to be, coming in June. We like to be able to set maybe a table up. We have our signage to be able to maybe either collect food or be there possibly to some of the events, maybe sell some items that would be 100% back to the resource center. And just want either you to see if that is a possibility, that we were in the parade this year, we're gonna try to do some more things that is with the town of Denton, setting up at the festivals and things like that. So just wanna let you know and ask for permission maybe to be able to do that, if that's okay with y'all.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, no problem.
And I will update you real quick. We did get $9,000 Duke Power dropped in on us that we were not expecting. Also, United Way has contacted us to have some additional money besides our $22,000 that we wrote the proposal for. So that's coming down the pipe. So we are getting some more funding, and I'm getting ready to write a employee credit union grant for some items that need to be upkept for the upkeep of some of the building. So.
Was the United Way, was it just some undesignated money, or was it something that was?
United Way, we have found out in the past couple of months that we're one of the only full service resource centers where we do food, clothing, rental, housing, water. That's why I was here today, is for water. A lot of the other centers are they're not full service. And we're also doing deliveries now to some of the families that do not have transportation, some of the elderly. We've started that. So there's some things that we're tapping in. I do ask, and I had talked, if you know of anyone, or I've asked the police chief that to go, if you see anything that is occurring when you go out and they have wellness checks, Meals on Wheels is doing wellness checks for us, so that if we can catch that person that maybe does need some help on certain times. So we're hoping to add some of those things too. So I won't ask for any money, Scotty. I'm trying to get it raised for ourselves.
Appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
But yeah, as far as setting up, yeah, just get with Angel and whatever you want.
Did the paperwork.
Yeah.
Okay.
Karen, what are the hours?
The hours are from 8 to 12 o'clock, and Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But what is happening now is Glenda's getting so many phone calls. The director, she's going in, and we're doing power bills, on appointment basis. I just did a family where there's no transportation, but mom's working, and so I went to the house and worked on things. So we're trying to get to the people without them having no way of getting there. So, and hopefully that's. And then with the tractor ride, recipients will be recipients of the tractor ride fundraiser the 29th of June.
Okay, that's great.
So, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Lisa. 4 Paws Spray and Neuter Clinic.
not so great in math, I can't just glance and look.
First of all, I want to sincerely thank you guys for the opportunity to speak here this evening. And I'm just curious, have you guys ever heard of 4-paw spay and neuter? No. Okay, well that is one of the big reasons I'm here. Because Davidson County has literally never, ever had any kind of low-cost spay and neuter clinic. I, along with so many volunteers, work. I don't do the transportation, but I work with a lot of adoption and rescues, and we have worked tirelessly to take animals to Kernersville, Greensboro, Winston. Davidson County just has not showed up to help here. But back in early 2023, late 2022, a group of very animal-loving people have been working tirelessly behind the scenes to find a location, fundraise, and I'm just going to go ahead and Scotty, I'll try to keep it to 3 minutes.
You don't have to.
Okay, well, I'll keep it short. I know you guys want to go home, but I want to kind of stay on target here, and just so I don't leave anything out. This is the first and only reduced cost option of Davidson County ever. And our mission is to reduce pet overpopulation and improve the overall health and well-being of animals in your community. Like I say, we worked tirelessly to put a dent in this problem. And the clinic opened in June of last year, so less than a year ago. And we've currently spayed over 1,500 animals. We have 6 veterinarians that are working at reduced rates, and many big-hearted volunteers. However, we could certainly use more hands. Davidson County is experiencing a significant growth with a population increase of over 3% in the last 2 years, which equates to about 5,300 people, reaching a current population of 180,182 residents. Statewide data shows a decline in euthanasia rate. However, many counties are not positive in that trend. North Carolina is one of 5 states responsible for 44% of animal shelter or euthanasia rates. I said statewide data shows a declining trend. Actually, national data is showing a declining trend. North Carolina, like I say, is one of 5 states that's contributing 44% of the current euthanasia rate. Surrounding counties such as Forsyth, Guilford, Rowan have made huge progress toward lowering euthanasia rates by investing in spay and neuter programs, supporting rescue, collaborating, and implementing no or low kill shelter practices. The most recent euthanasia rates in Davidson County for this year, 2025, has gone up dramatically even since last year. over 67% of the cats that go in that shelter are euthanized, and over 44% of dogs that go in shelter are euthanized. Our town and our county's approach to animal welfare reflects the kind of leadership we embody. High euthanasia rates and insufficient support for spay and neuter programs not only raise moral concerns, but also impose long-term financial burdens on taxpayers. Investing in preventive, humane solutions such as low-cost spay and neuter facilities honors both the ethical stewardship and fiscal prudence expected of public servants. And by the way, you guys, I'm going to be in front of the commissioners alongside 2 other volunteers this week and our sheriff to talk to the commissioners more about this. As elected officials, you guys govern our town by making decisions surrounding spending priorities. And I'm just going to quote, it's one of my favorite Bible verses, Romans, that reminds us that those in authority are God's servants for the good of people. And And with this sacred trust comes the duty to govern wisely, compassionately, and justly on behalf of all living beings within your care. For every $1 invested in spay and neuter, counties can save $3 to $5 on shelter costs down the line. We're embarrassing next to Rowan County and Forsyth and Guilford County in this arena. And currently, we're respectively asking your support through spreading the word. I'm gonna leave you guys these. You can click on the QR codes and schedule an appointment. And I believe you guys have had some cat issues in Denton, if I'm not mistaken. We currently, I don't know if anybody here has had any animals lately that they've had to have fixed or neutered or care, but it is unbelievably expensive, shockingly. $400, $600.
So I just had one of our Meals on Wheels recipients in Thomasville that her grandson dropped off a dog, and she agreed that to try to keep the dog had not been spayed. And I contacted my vet to see if they knew of any low-cost solutions, and they were not aware of this. So I ended up paying my vet because I had to have the first round of shots for the dog, and then to pay for the spay because it was a 70-pound dog, $1,500 total. Well, a Meals on Wheels recipient can't pay $1,500. So, it's just promulgating the problem when that's your only solution.
It is, when you have to make the decision between paying for your medicine and your groceries or getting rid of your dog or cat. And we're currently working with a lot of elderly people to help them keep their animals. There was a lady, Barbara, forgot her last name. She was a big volunteer in Lexington. She drove folks to their cancer appointments. Huge volunteer in that arena. She was killed in January during the storm, the ice storm, and you guys may have heard about her. But we helped spay and neuter 10 of her. She was taking care of a colony, 12 of the cats that she was taking care of, and we rehomed them. So again, we are respectfully asking for your support in the form of spreading the word, volunteerism, partnership, and I heard her say we're not asking for money, but we are. And I don't want you guys to feel like that's the only reason I'm here, because I want this Meals on Wheels person to know about this. It is not, first of all, I can do Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff, but we have to be, like HIPAA with people, we have to be careful with what we put on. And word of mouth is the biggest thing. Jason Hewlin is very well aware. He's a backup to us. But we welcome the opportunity to work alongside you to make this vision a reality. And your investment directly translates into immediate measurable impact. A contribution of $1,000 would approximately do 7 dogs and 10 cats. A lot more than $1,500 for your money. 5,000 would be 33 dogs and 53 cats. Now I can go on and on, but we can help Denton with this cat population issue. I don't want to pigeonhole us as being the cat people, but that is a huge problem. And if you guys have ever had a cat colony around you, you know it's a problem, whether you like cats or not. But it is just so incredibly sad that we only have 18 kennels in that shelter right now. And literally, I talked to Christian Souls just last week, and she said, I easily take 4 dogs there a day, and she says that just 18 of them, they're stray holds, the one that are surrendered or immediately put down. And they're not just putting down pit bulls there. We're working with them to get puppies out and but this is a huge problem. We've never seen it this bad, ever. But we're really trying to make a difference, and we want to help Denton. So my ask is to spread the word and to consider what you guys could potentially do to support this. Do y'all have any questions? I would love for anybody interested in touring it. It's been a big issue to find veterinarians. We are blessed with 6, and they're all outside of this county. It actually is harder to get in vet school than med school. There's only 37, I think, veterinarian schools in the country. So it's a big deal for us to have 6. So anyway, I'm gonna leave you guys with this euthanasia sheet, just to peek over. But we can do a whole lot better. And I just wanna thank you for your time. And I look forward to hearing from you. And I'd love to have some folks that might be interested in volunteering in any way. We do lots of cool stuff. And we have wellness clinics too. And that's a lot less expensive.
So what's the wait time, like if somebody had an animal?
It's not bad, Ann. Where we are struggling now is having enough, so out of our 6 vets, not all 6 are comfortable with big dogs, their skill set. So we're putting together a big dog day. But right now, 50 pounds or less is pretty easy. Cats are easy. The big dog is a little more of a challenge, but we're rolling through that. We did get some money from North Carolina, state of North Carolina. Steve Jarvis helped us get money to get started. And that was a long time ago, but it sure did help. And we hope the county is supportive here.
It's crazy how low Davidson County Animal Shelter's adoption rates are.
Well, and that is pathetic. It's not just crazy, it's pathetic.
Low.
It's pathetic. It's embarrassing seeing that. But I think things are going to dramatically change. I can already see some positives. So, anyway, you guys, I know y'all know I love animals. I'd like to save every one of them. But I bet most of you turn that station when, what's her name, Sarah Evans is on, and with the sad dogs and the sad cats. So it's just hard to see. But thank y'all for your time.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, National Day of Prayer.
Mayor Morris, that was a typo on there. It's in with their consent agenda number 6.
Okay, super. Item 6 is consent agenda. National Day of Prayer, May 7th, 2026. Professional Municipal Clerks Week, May 3rd through May 9th, 2026. National Police Week, May 10th through May 16th, 2026. And National Public Works Water Sewer Week. I guess that's all, y'all.
All of the above.
May 17th through the 23rd. I'd entertain a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion to approve those proclamations. Second.
Any further discussion? Thank you so much. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no, and the ayes have it, motion carried. Approve the interagreement with Davis County Property Tax Processing.
Our last meeting, you guys asked for some clarification on some items, and I provided an email back to you with those responses back from the county. Were there any questions, follow-ups? I didn't have any that came back by email regarding what Mr. Smith provided to us. So I can go through the question and answer if you'd like for me to.
Well, I think we're pretty well we don't have to, but, and it does have a clause where we can get out of it anytime prior to that tax year, is that correct?
Prior to that tax year.
And I believe you said, as far as our collection, is probably half or less citizens of the town of Denton.
They are, the majority of I would say probably half of of the people who actually come into the location are from town. The others are in the zip code of Denton or Thomasville, High Point, surrounding area. They come here so that they don't have to drive to Lexington and avoid the number of people that do go there, so. And they, in part of the email, David Rickard did point out that they are using a new system for the processing of payments online, and it's a little bit less for the processing instead of the 3%, I think, that was originally assigned to the online portal.
Say if we do see it's not working, and we can.
Absolutely. And then the main question that Commissioner Hogan had was about extending the collections of this remote site here, and that is still a strong point to the board that they want to discontinue that effective July 1st next year.
So we got a year to wind down, I guess.
Exactly. And they'll do, probably print out on the back of the tax bills as they go out, and maybe even do an insert that this location will be phasing out and give that final date on that.
What's the wishes of the board?
I would make a motion, we approve, I don't really see another option, but
Yeah.
interlocal agreement.
They can only hold the strings.
Correct.
That's right. You got a second?
I second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of update on the lease on micropods Denton towing.
You guys have a copy of a red line contract. I went in with the proposed changes that Mr. Potts recommended. So, originally we'd asked for a bond to be held by Mr. Potts in order to pay for any damages to the property once he leaves, or for whatever reason, if he were to leave and there were issues to be cleaned up, removal of vehicles, maybe restoration of the premises to the original condition, or compliance with quality environmental cleanup obligations. His proposal is that he would agree to pay a $500 one-time payment for a deposit, and then agree to pay $500 a month rent. He would also like for you to consider that he would provide a $2,000 escrow amount to be held by the town in lieu of a bond that could be used for those four stated items. And basically, if he were to leave, it would pay to remove all vehicles, personal property from the premises, to clean up the property, clean up and properly dispose of all debris, hazardous material, waste in accordance with the applicable law and regulations, restore the premises to its original condition, reasonable wear and tear, and comply with all environmental cleanups. And then he's also asking that the town be responsible for providing 2 security lights to be turned on in the town's name and to be included with the rent for no additional funds to be paid by Mr. Potts. What is the pleasure of the board?
I think the lights. I don't think we wanna pay for the lights. I don't want to be speaking out of turn, but.
I agree.
Agree.
Agreed.
The rest of it, I think. I'm good with the rest of it.
So instead of taking out the paragraph on the power, the original section on power read that the leasee shall be responsible for establishing electrical power service to the premises in the leasee's name for lights and security purposes, and shall pay all costs associated with such services, including connection fee, monthly charges, and deposits required by the utility provider. The leasee shall maintain continuous electrical service throughout the lease term, and shall provide proof of an active service to the town upon request. So we would leave that paragraph and not.
I don't think we care, do we, if he has electrical? I mean,
He's got insurance, so
Yeah.
it'll be okay.
if he'll fit up 2 utility like Duke Power and pay them, whatever they are, $20 a month or whatever.
Okay.
I
So-
think,
What are
I
they
mean-
now? Is it, do you know,
For about 35, and
35?
sounds like that's, if it's in, I think minimum service is 35, so they would do probably minimal service, and then the additional light itself would, you say about $18 to $20.
I think my storage buildings, I got 3 and they're like $79.
Yeah. So that would be right.
But I, you know,
Cause I'm sure it's probably your base rate and then the cost for the two or three lights. So with that being said, you could remove the last sentence of that original paragraph, and that would be up to the leasing to, if they want lights, they can provide them.
Michael, does that work for you?
Yeah, the only question I got, there's 2 lights over there, correct? I mean, y'all know there's 2 lights. One light for the upper lot, one light for the lower lot. Can those lights be turned on separately, or do y'all know that? Or then when they cut them on, are both of them gonna be on? Because if they cut both of them on, I'm paying for the lot that I'm not renting to be lit, and I'm paying for the lot that is lit.
I think once you, just,
I mean, I wonder about that, cause like I say, there's 2 lights there.
Are they on or off? I figured they
They're
might be
off.
there. Okay.
they're off.
And
there's
when
no-
they power the lights up, do both of them come on, or can they separate them?
What I would suggest is to reach out to Duke Energy and tell them that you wanna just establish power for this section and where you would like the lights, because, that I'm aware of, there's not a power box there. So it's been years,
Transformer across the road.
they would come in and do their own wiring and everything for the lights that would be established for your account.
We looked at that, or I've looked at it, it comes across, transformer across to the pole, to the power pole.
Right,
We'd probably just have to release them, because I don't have no meter or anything, it's just so much per light.
they don't.
It comes off their main line.
Yeah, it's coming off their main line,
Yeah.
there's no meter or nothing there, so I don't know. That'd be something, I'll have to get with y'all, cause y'all are the ones that know. how
Yeah,
to
you might wanna get them
contact
just to put 2 up and just leave that other one off.
Right,
Yeah, just have to give the fire, or like you said, now, I mean, or we're gonna be in a grid to where if I decide to put a pole in over there, or y'all gonna allow the fire to come in there and put a pole in?
Sure,
Put a security light in?
yeah, if they have to, that's
I
fine.
mean, before, you know, to make sure that's clear.
Right.
Before, you know, y'all do fire to add and they security light, and y'all say, well, no, we don't need telephone pole put in.
No, we
You
understand
need
that.
to make sure that'll clear.
Yeah.
But, you know, it'd be simpler to check on the 2 lights that's there and see how Duke Fire can do them. And I mean, they may separate them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They may cut one off and just leave them.
They'll send the engineer down and talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
they will.
Yeah. Cause if we put an office over there, we may pull fire to it, and
Okay.
that'll be, Duke Fire will do that.
Yep.
So we may do that and come off that one pole,
Okay,
pull power,
sounds
put
good.
power in there. And if we do, that'll be something that when I do leave, or something happens, or I leave or whatever, the power that's there, box or whatever, it'll be y'all, it'll be there, so if you rent it again, they'll have power access. It'll already be there, so.
And I think Michael's talking about putting a different gate in for his
Yes,
entrance too, so it'll be coming through us when we have
right,
things
Yeah,
mobilized.
that was another thing I discussed. Right now, how these got one access into that lot, which comes through the upper lot that y'all have. So if y'all ever put anything in town, put something in there or whatever, and they lock that gate, I'm blocked, I can't get in my part. So, and I discussed this a little bit with Scotty, to put another gate there, the side of the gate that's already there, pull that lot on. Now, that cost will be on me, I have no problem with that, I've got the tile, I've got the gate to go in there. And I also told Scotty though, I want it to be understood that once we put that gate and those tile in there, that gate and tile will become together. I won't take them back out, I don't want them, and that way, once they're there, they're there. So, again, if I leave, y'all have that lot accessible by itself, you don't have to mess with it, going through the upper lot and get to it. I mean, you know, it's just, once we do that, it benefits y'all by leaving it there, because when you rent it again, the same person will be just like me, they will say, well, wait a minute now, you ain't got the one access in, they lock that gate, you got me locked out. So, with that being said, like I say, if we do get it, we're gonna put the tile in, I'm gonna put the gate in, that's on me and y'all, but if I leave. on
Yeah, property of the town.
That stays, I don't want to take it back with me.
We're not gonna let you anyway.
We've got,
So,
so we have that, we've got that addressed in item number 6, under the contract that addresses having a separate, entrance for
Okay.
this section on South John Street. And then it also does state the same that it will become sole private property of the town.
I entertain a motion to approve with the changes.
I make a motion to approve the, lease agreement with Denton Towing with the changes as noted with the security lights.
Second.
Further discussion, further debate. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. And the ayes have it, motion carried. Count to the one.
I put my mouth, nothing came out.
Alright, revised costs for Handy Sanitary District.
Okay. You guys have a copy of the information that was provided to us from our auditor, Eddie Carrick. And Mr. Carrick went through and gave 2 different cost of water analysis for you to look at. One is with Ms. Garrison's salary being removed, which was included by mistake. And, well, I should say the first one, and it also does not have the cost of sludge removal included. The second one has Ms. Garrison's salary removed, but also includes the cost of sludge. I did speak to Handy's manager, Daryl Hennon, on Friday, and he said that they would like to move forward without the cost of sludge being included in the cost of water, but they would share the cost 50-50, whatever it costs to remove the sludge. So they would agree to that.
So the new cost of water be
So the new
two
cost,
point oh 380.
yes, if that is the pleasure of the board.
I'm good. I'll make a motion to approve the revised cost of water for 25-26 at 203.
Second.
Other discussion? Hey, you good?
Mm-hmm.
All in favor say aye. Any opposed, no. And the ayes have it, motion carried. And in that same sentence, we want to go ahead and backbill them like we're supposed to.
Yes. Well, I think we have it ready to go, but they have put it on hold because they have not approved it themselves. So as soon as we
But
get
they
that,
have it,
they do have the cost of water, so,
but they have a new bill.
no, not yet.
I have not done the new bill because I wasn't for sure what the rate would be.
For which one
For
they did.
certain.
Okay, let's go ahead and do it and send it, because we've approved it.
Okay, we'll send that tomorrow.
I think.
Yes.
And whatever the contract says about going back 12 months.
We'll send that tomorrow.
Right, Attorney General?
Correct.
Okay, budget. I assume we're going line by line, Angel,
We will.
department, or whatever.
Yes, let's do, I think it'll be much easier, less confusing, I think. The first portion of your agenda, our budget packet that you have is your revenues. And I spoke with the county today, as you received a copy by email this week of Senate Bill 899. And they are proposing a moratorium on the rate increases due to reevaluations that the counties have completed this year. It does affect 12 different counties. And I spoke to Diane Young to see what direction they're giving, because it is a late minute decision that they're looking at passing this, and it's causing us to question what we can count on for basing our revenues for ad valorem taxes. Diane said that they are moving forward. They're gonna look at what their evaluation figures are, and they're gonna move forward with their budgeting. She did state that they do not have the updated figures for us based on those who have, they, sorry, based on those who have asked for a reevaluation on that property, totals, on their property totals. And she is not sure when that will come through, but she will give that to us as soon as possible. We just have to have information to them by June the 19th in order for them to do everything they need to do for July 1st. So they should have good figures, and we'll have better figures to base our revenue on. Alright, with that out of the way, the revenue section, I've not dropped in figures yet. I wanna see where we are in looking at our expenditures as to what each department has asked for. If you'll turn to page 3, this starts at your, administration department. In looking at the request that was provided to you at the meeting, I was not able to attend. Feeling much better. So if we look at the request that came in, you've had time to look at that, you've had time to review what your department has asked for. And with the request from the department for administration, we were looking at iPads, e-scribe, engaging the audience, and then visual aids, and then looking at what we can do to promote out the community information.
I think we probably cut to the chase on that.
Okay,
I don't think we wanna do that this year, or I don't think, I'm in favor of it.
okay.
I don't know about the other board, I didn't talk to him.
Alright, so let's start with, the first thing on the list was iPads for the commissioners. And that was with using that system for eScribe, which
Yeah.
was, basically it's an agenda packet.
What number, I mean, where in the budget, where does it drop in, or is it dropped in?
It's not dropped in.
Okay,
I'm going straight by what, I need to know what you guys want me to budget.
okay,
So,
gotcha, thank you.
based on the information that your department head meeting provided, is what we're looking at. So your first item from administration was for the iPads and also using that eScribe. If it's, like I said, if it's something that you're not wanting to pursue this year, then that would not be included in that.
It's all sort of together, right?
Well, so you can do separately, like you can do, iPads for the board, so that you get your electronic packets and they're on that iPad and you're using that for that purpose. If you feel like that's what you wanna do and move forward, yes, that's one thing. The eScribe program is totally separate. It is something that, it's basically an agenda packet that you can build your agenda on. And when you guys have access to that packet in a meeting, you also have access to every packet that's ever been. So if there was a question, well, what do we do at January? You have access to that because it's in that software. It has the capability of loading all of our forms, our ordinances, past minutes, if you wanted just a minute section. So there is a lot of benefit to it. As Paula shared, it was a sticker shock, like it was more than what we had anticipated it being. It's a great program, it's used by a lot of municipalities. We did reach back out to her and just let her know that it's a little bit more than we're wanting to spend. They're trying to see if there's maybe a scaled down version of that we potentially could use that would give you the best part of it for you. But at the cost that it currently was,
I mean, I think it's a great idea, but I think it's terribly expensive.
it
Yeah.
is.
I mean, I
think-
just,
don't think it's worth it.
yeah,
I just don't think we're ready
no,
to move that far
Right.
into it.
right.
You know, if we could have the cost of the iPads broken out separately, you know,
So,
possibly
is
do
that something that
this
you-
year.
Is that something you guys are interested in?
I think with us converting to Microsoft Office and using a lot of Microsoft software, the iPads are not the best move. I think
Okay.
we should use maybe
Like
a different type of
Like a
tablet,
tablet?
like a Surface Pro or something like that.
We can definitely, look at that. I think you guys, it would benefit, I just think you would enjoy it once you got used to it, having it right there.
Thomasville uses iPads, and they don't seem to have any problem with it. I don't disagree with what you're saying. And if like the Google tablet will run what you need, it's much cheaper.
Yeah.
But I think they use the iPads for security purposes because the Apple product tends to be much more secure than the desktop or non-Apple products, for lack of, I can't think of what the word is, it's my
Android, no, that's just a phone.
PC, yes. So Apple tends to be much more secure than PC, so I think that's why they do it.
And didn't you say at the budget meeting that, or you were?
I wasn't at the budget meeting, so
Who
that wasn't
said-
me.
Who said at the budget meeting that Lexington and Hollisville use something different? Or the county use something different than the e-scribe?
Yeah, I don't think the county uses e-scribe.
So I don't think
They don't.
Thomasville uses
No,
e-scribe.
I know Greensboro does,
We're a little smaller than that.
yeah, we are, and there are a lot of small municipalities that do use this service. And there are different services besides eScribe. It's just someone that we, had spoken to at a conference and they followed through and asked if we were interested in that. So there are other programs that are available, and we can search that out throughout the year. But the first step, I think, would be developing either an iPad or a tablet of some sort to get you guys comfortable to that. And even with Microsoft 365, there could be more structure available with that may do the same thing. So,
Yeah, let me know enough about it.
okay. So would you guys like for us to move forward with getting prices on another type of tablet? Or we can do the iPad and another type to let you know what that
Another type
option
of
is.
subscription.
Yeah, take the.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just take this
I
subscription.
definitely think that we need to go with the tablets first and see how far we can push Microsoft 365 before we move to any other softwares.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. I think that's good.
That is what I am on this.
All right, so we'll look for-
I refer to you.
I mean, I think the idea is great.
Well, and I know
Right,
with
I do.
Thomasville, when we get our agendas, like it's a clickable thing under the agenda and you click on that item and it automatically takes you to the supporting documentation.
Do they, I assume they keep theirs all the time?
Yes, so when you get sworn in, you get an iPad, that's how you get your packet, that's how you get everything. It's your job to keep up with it. If you lose it, you have to pay for it out of pocket.
It's, well, we'll cross that bridge. Is there any way you can
But they
download it?
are paperless, are they paperless then?
We have, right now I think we're paperless, but last council session, we had one person that was not at all tech savvy and requested paper. And our clerk calculated how much cost it was for that person to receive paper. So,
I'm sure that you would be amazed at what
Yes.
all this costed,
oh yes,
you know,
Yeah.
really.
We can pull that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
it's amazing.
It more than pays for the iPad or the whatever that you're using by the cost you save in the paper.
Cause that's all you're saving, because labor and time to upload it is the same amount,
No.
correct?
No,
Think about all the printing,
copying and printing.
copying and getting it together,
And plus
the
Well, I mean,
time that
they're already
it
making
takes
digital
paper,
copies
for somebody
anyway,
to,
so-
And
yeah.
once you create it and whatever whatever program we use, it can be when you save it, you're not only saving it to our hard drive, but you're saving it to that drive.
Mhm.
So it does save a lot of steps. It saves the process of having to pull everything together, making sure the copies are right. I mean, it does save time on staff time anyway. But it would be a matter of, especially on the Microsoft 365, if whatever program, if there's something available, we could create those agenda packets on there, and then as they're uploaded, you see the documentation as it's being uploaded. So that's sort of what this is.
And I know
based
it would
on.
take time because we're not used to that, but,
It's a learning curve.
It is.
yeah,
It
but
is.
Can you
But-
put
Can-
Microsoft 365 on an iPad? I'm a dumb question, but.
I don't know.
Yes, it just doesn't work as well. It's a little clunky.
Okay.
Compared to if you use it on something else, like Word and Excel is not gonna work as well as
Okay.
it would on a different type of tablet, but she's right about security there.
Can you talk into it like I do?
Yes,
Yeah, they have a Word app.
they do, but it's just,
It's
it
not
doesn't work
as
as well.
user friendly.
Cause it's built for
Can
more.
you print off?
But now, if you got the Microsoft Surface, you know, the Surface doubles
I mean,
as a
you can connect to a Wi-Fi
tablet
printer.
and a
Yeah.
iPad.
And you can
Yeah.
print it.
So like if I'm at home, I could send it to my printer
Yes.
to print if
You
I
But
want
I
to
will
print something.
tell you, there is a government program through Microsoft that you can probably purchase the Microsoft Surface at a discounted rate.
Okay.
So you may
But
wanna
if it
check on that.
doesn't have the security, then is it?
It would have the same security as your computers here.
It is, it's not gonna be different.
Alright, so we'll get the prices for that and push that out. The next thing that I've got in the packet is the, Genesis, which is the service that is a community outreach program, basically. If there's anything going on in town, water lines, emergencies, things like that, roadblocks, closures, excuse me, you can push out, you can even use it for, promoting events that are going on in town. It is the same system that Davidson County is using. Thomasville and Lexington are, I think Lexington is part of it, Thomasville is on the actual contract with Davidson County. They were a part of the build out. So, when we talked to the county, Paul actually reached out to Blake and he said that when they did the program, Thomasville reached out and said, can we piggyback on your contract? And they're actually written in as, I guess, part owner of that contract. It's not, and they just completed their build out on everything, so it's not, we can't jump on that contract at this time. It would be something that we would have to initiate ourselves. The program, currently, the way that we contact residents for any issues is social media. We put messages on our phone, website, and if it is something that involves just a neighborhood, we can put door tags out. But, they can be missed. Not everybody is on social media. And so sometimes important information is missed by certain people, depending on which way the information is pushed out. It is a good service, but again, it does come with that cost to initiate. So what do you guys, what are your thoughts about having a service like this? It's the initial, it says the annual cost,
$3,500 a year, 10.5 startup, is that right?
yes. I'm part of the service that I received messages from Thomasville. My mother-in-law used to live there, and I just kind of stayed on the service.
I started to say something, I needed explaining.
So the way it
I've
works.
looked at it again, how you.
DC alerts
Yeah,
for the
you go to DC
county.
alert.
Mhm.
So it'll, gives you all kinds of alerts, whether it be
But how do
just
you
your-
get that? That's what
Okay,
I'm,
it comes by text message,
yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of people.
and
But do you have to sign up for it, or does it automatically get your number from
you can sign
God
up.
knows who?
But we've asked them if we can do an automatic sign up, and then people have to opt out of it. Because, we have a little over 1,100 accounts in the town, but if we could push out that everybody in our system is automatically signed up, then we're covering everyone, all the people who live in town. The only, back years ago with Nexus, I think the biggest thing was, people had to pay for text messages, and I think some of the programs have changed now. You get your text messages free. There may be, and I'm not sure, Paula, if you can remember, were there options for people who did not have text messages that if they would receive a phone call? Seems like there was some other option.
You're just gonna have some seniors that do not have, like my mother, for instance, does not have a smartphone, so
Well,
she's not gonna get
That's what I
text
started to say, I just know
messages.
so many people that it's not gonna benefit.
I don't know if it would be
But
a tremendous number, but I think there will be some.
just like with me, I signed up with Thomasville because I had a loved one who lived there.
Right.
And they don't restrict anyone from receiving those. You don't have to live in that zip code just to receive them. I've just signed up for the Davidson County alerts. I've not had one come through. But, if someone out of town, out of state, has someone that lives here and they're concerned for things that are going on in the community, they could sign up to get those notifications as well. I was trying to find the last one I got from the county, or the Thomasville, I'm not seeing it. But when they've had a water line break, they can put out, just like the one that we had in Clark Acres, that we had to replace the hydrant. We could put out that, hydrant being replaced on Tamworth, expect your water to be off from 9 AM till at least 12, and target that area so that the people who live there know that there's gonna be something affecting their water usage.
Is this anything that can go to landlines?
That's what I don't remember, and I apologize, I don't.
I don't have a book
Recall.
with that, and I don't know if he
I
stated.
don't think it's enough benefit for the cost for 1,100 people,
Well, it's
1,100 accounts.
accounts, so you're thinking 1,100 accounts. If there's 2 people per household, that's 2,200. If you had family members or people outside that just say, I wanna be a part of whatever's going on, I mean, you could potentially have 25, 3,000. There's no limit on how many we can have.
It says 3,500 is a breakdown, is that right?
So if we had, I guess the thing is if you do it, first year is gonna be your initiation year, second year, you'll know better about how many people would participate and are continuing to participate. But like I said, if you only had a few hundred, it's not worth it. If we had every account on there, I see the benefit, but I understand it is $3,500 a year for the service. Let's see if they offer a phone connection. And again, we can look at other services. This is one of many. The Genesis, Thomasville went from Nexus to Genesis because they saw that the benefit of it was much better. And
Here, we had Nixle. And
Nixle, yeah.
And we changed. I will tell you, it's the only way I know what's going on, even though I'm in Thomasville. It's immensely helpful. It sends us, every time there's a wreck, we get a notification. Every time there's a power outage, a street.
Somebody has to upload it, don't they?
Yeah, there's somebody in the office that's responsible for that, and they send it out.
That'll be another,
It's an administrative task,
Yeah.
it is, but it's immensely helpful, but I don't know how helpful it would be in Denton, I just know it's.
yeah, when y'all have 25,000, we have 1,600. I mean, that's,
Yeah,
So somebody in our administration would have to send that
to
out.
push out
We
the
would.
words.
and they have to get their information from somewhere.
It's all, I think the initial, setup is what it's time consuming because you upload all the phone numbers. You can even, create like templates that if there's something that happens quite often, you can create that template and it's just a matter of logging in, clicking the template and send. So as you build it, it gets easier. It's just that, initial time to get it established.
Like we got a notification when we were switching systems that you have to text this code to this number and that signs you up automatically. So I get weather alerts, I get, all sorts of stuff on it.
Yeah, I don't,
Who would,
personally, I don't think we're ready for that just yet.
well, if we did it, who would you all envision being responsible for that in our office?
I think you could do for someone at police, fire, and here, so that you
Yeah,
have
multiple people
three,
can do it.
yes, you have 3 access points, 4 or 5, whatever. But if it's something that the police department needed to post out, fire department, they know there's a fire, that there's detours, someone could be in charge of posting out for them, and the same for town hall,
I think that would be my concern, is that it might get lost and something else to be done,
I know the fire department, we don't have time. It's gonna be over the time we get it posted. And it's,
Yeah, unless you had one of mine sit down for hours or.
yeah,
Alright, so that's
That's
What
a
is the
no.
board?
Is it no for everybody?
I'm a no. I don't know what everybody
I'm
else
a
thinks.
Okay. Alright, that's the only, things I really had to push out from the administration side of it, as far as things like that. I do have something that we'll talk about in the manager's report for the phone systems. Looking at beautification for downtown, you know, things like that fall under administration. Projects that you guys may want to see, that cost falls under administration, so if there's things that you want me to add cost to, that's where I need to know what you guys are wanting us to budget and focus on. So I'll open the floor to recommendations. And we did get approved for our grant.
Like I say, we got that grant, so that should
That's
take
gonna
care
take
of
care of a lot.
what's kind of on the table right now.
So with the grant, what all did that cover?
Okay, so we're going to pave the parking lot at the outdoor market. It covers the mulch for the playground at Harrison Park. The banners, adding some banners to the downtown area. It covers, the mural downtown. It covers the landscaping for the two waypoints at north and south of town, welcome to Denton signs. And, adding to the Christmas decorations with snowflakes.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's a lot.
Awesome.
it is a lot.
Outside of those, is there anything else that you guys as a board or individuals would like to see that we explore and add to?
Well, we're gonna need some money for Johnson Park. Alone. Or we might could get some donated. I know they're trying to get some more donated from.
Yeah.
And for the picnic shelters. Maybe get the Lions Club, one if I did it. Mommy Park. They're pretty simple.
Yeah, they are.
Maybe Gilly Joe wants to sponsor one.
Yeah. I'm good if we get those things.
Yeah. I think the only thing that we did mention when we were talking about the EDC grants was the, like adding to the speaker system within Harrison Park. We did get the information that, Missy provided to us from Thomasville. And that was more of a system, kind of like what we already have. It just, we need something that's expandable, because we have the system, but we need to add more speakers to it so they could be placed around the park. And, mostly for like things that we do. Horse bands, they have their own equipment, things like that, but being able to add some type of system that would project the sound better to the backside of the park.
Yeah, last year, I was there at the hot chocolate, at Christmas, I was there at the hot chocolate. And she'd been calling out names for several minutes, and
Yeah, part of it
We haven't been able to
is the
hear it.
speaker though. It's the person speaking.
So
They
since
don't- You gotta get that mic
Yeah,
up here
And
and you
that
gotta
is
talk a little loud.
Yeah. I was closer to the stage and I couldn't hear well, so
yeah.
I will have to say a lot of it does have to depend on the speaker.
And you
as
can
well.
turn things up a little bit. I mean, I can put you some horns, I can hear it everywhere.
Right, so as far as, Johnson Park, are we wanting to set aside funding that we want to designate for this, construction of the park? So-
I'd say if you can set aside some funding, and then we'll decide what we're gonna do with the money. As it goes along,
Okay.
there may be something we need to,
Does anybody have do you have a recommendation on figures, or you want me just to go through the budget and see what we can do?
yeah, I mean, not crazy, but
Not crazy.
Not crazy,
maybe 10,000, whatever. Thank you.
okay?
Has there been any grants applied for as far as through the trip board? I know initially, I think he had said something.
No, he just got that
100%.
one from, whoever it was. Cypress Garden, Cypress,
Cypress Creek
Yeah.
Renewables.
and I think they're talking about another one.
I think what, we have the Leave a Legacy brochure almost complete. We've gone back and asked to add Johnson Park on that. I think that can add a lot to it too. People see that we're moving forward with the park, and just like with Harrison Park, they want to be a part of that.
with that being said, let's mention what we talked about the other day with Harrison Park, and that is that we need to establish some type of guidelines for donations, that if you adopt a grove, we currently do not have a time limit on that, it's forever. And so if there's things that need to be repaired or replaced, it's at the town's expense. Things like that. I've not seen anything set up that should state that.
Yeah, Misty, like the groves down there were bought and paid for, and they're forever, and they can't be forever, cause I didn't give it $2,500 for my grove, and you know, once you redo it, there need to be a time limit on it, of some sort. I don't know how we do that now, but there needs to be.
What was the original language with what you bought and paid for?
I don't know what the
I
word.
think we found that the other day, I'll send you a
If you'll send
copy.
it to
They
me.
were
You
like
know,
4 or 5 different groves that
Cause I
people
asked
bought
that
and paid
exact
for.
question.
Okay.
And if, I need to go look, but, and y'all probably have copies of it, but there may be stuff in some of Daddy's,
Oh, yeah.
information.
Mhm.
Because I have all of this stuff from his office, which is when he started with the Harrison Park,
Okay.
when he and Paul started working with that. So there may be some information there that we can pull out. and
Yeah,
refer back to
and if
us.
there is, if there's not a time limit, we need to.
I bet there was I don't think.
I don't think there was either.
Well, if you'll just send me the initial paperwork, then I'll figure out what it is and we'll figure out what we need to do.
Okay. That sounds
Paula,
good.
if you can share with me what it is that you have, and then that way if I find the same thing, then
All right.
I'll know.
Elizabeth ran across it when she was, having me, scan some minutes, so cause I had asked the exact same question, like, if you have a grove, what does that mean? I mean, the town supplying the mulch and flowers and all of this kind of stuff, what is the person getting or doing with that grove?
And what was it that y'all were getting or doing?
I think it was
We
just
got
the
the grove,
initial
we
set.
pay for the plantings of the grove.
initial.
Yeah,
The
the
initial.
initial, which would have
There's
been,
And there's
Is there
a
little
plaque.
something- There's a
Yeah.
plaque.
yeah, there's a plaque, if you can find it, Mike, we need to go over and uncover mine, cause they covered it up again.
We know where it
General
is.
area.
Of all the ones in the park that should know not to cover mine up,
We finally
not
found
the
it.
smartest guy in the sky.
Okay. All right, we'll look at that and get Misty to kind of review and see what, we can put wording towards it.
But even the
To move
playground,
forward.
I would give it a part of it, but we've always replaced the whole thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have, and it's expensive, I mean, we budgeted $10,000 just for the mulch, I mean.
Yeah.
It's,
And
at
it's
least
gonna
every
take
other
more
year,
than
yeah, probably so,
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
alright. Okay. Guys, don't have anything else, on the admin that you want us to add as far as projects in the town? We'll move to the police department, which is page 3 of the budget worksheet. Chief James, I had figures that I could drop in because of, information he provided. And then I also called today just to talk and walk through, his other items of concern.
Chief, your main
Are you
thing
on
was
page
a new
5?
car, right, and salary?
Oh, page 5, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes, and we did talk today about swap camera possibility.
So we'll start with the vehicles, if that's okay. Out of the 2 that were recommended, there's the Ford Explorer and the Dodge Durango. Did you mention if there was one that you preferred over the other?
Well, I like the cheaper with the exception I explained, I think last meeting, the battery for the Dodge is under the passenger seat. Battery dies, you gotta pay somebody to take the seat out or the cage to get to the battery, which is not ideal. I wish Dodge would do something about that, but, you know.
It's only $1,000 difference, so if you have to change one battery, that gives you $1,000, I'm
Right.
assuming.
Well, it wasn't quite 1,000, I think it was $300-400 maybe they charged us to labor.
I'd say whichever one you want, when you're that close.
Yeah.
But I'd say you need to sell 1 or 2. Probably the decoy, because not worth running the road, is it?
No, the transmission's not reliable. It hasn't done it lately. It's strange. It'll get hung in low gear. You can't get it out. Works good as a decoy car, but I would not want to put an officer in it full time.
I mean, if with your new car, you're gonna have 11, so you probably pull 1 or 2 out of service, wouldn't you
Yes.
think? That still gives you spares.
And of course, you know, we got the one we got from Marksdale, we paid $2,000 for, so it still runs good. Seems like it's got 102,000 or so on it.
Yeah. If you get rid of the one that you think's bad, that way, if we need one of the others, they should work.
Right.
And Michael will take the cats to, you know, Thomasville or wherever.
Alright, so we'll look at budgeting for the Explorer on that. The other main concern is the the salaries for employees, and, Chief has provided us with information. I've not dropped this in. I should have this, the payroll information, a worksheet out to you guys, Wednesday at the latest by Thursday, just to give you an idea of where our current salaries are and where we're falling in with others in our vicinity. You know, one time we were way up there and everybody was trying to catch up with us, and now we've stepped back. So, we do need to look at that and see what we can do. Chief has full staff as of Friday, but we're waiting on the state papers to come back, right?
He's going to the firing range tonight, this evening, so once we get that, I'll send the paperwork to Raleigh tomorrow. So I think he'll be starting very soon. And then I'll have an officer that may have to have surgery and be out 5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
At a minimum, so there we go.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, we will, explore, and I'll send you guys the salary study out to look at. You know, that is a concern. It seems like yearly, but, it does sometimes hit mid-year as we see the changes coming down from other departments and other agencies. Last year, we did budget for the chief to do a national night out. I think that failed about the time he failed, and so we were not able to conduct that without the chief being there, so we will definitely move forward with him, hosting a community night out. I think that'll be a great opportunity for the department to be a part of the community. Also, 5 body armors are going to be expiring this year, so it's $3,500. I think that's, something we absolutely need to include in their budget.
Yeah, they grants, at one time there was grants out there for that.
They're looking at it.
Yeah, we're working on it. The federal government has a BVP grant that they'll pay half of the body armor. This town has never took advantage of that. We've tried to call, and I think it was during the federal shutdown, we couldn't get anybody on the phone to help us. So hopefully we'll eventually be able to do that, and the league is paying, I think, $500 per body armor, as long as we stay members with them. So that'll probably be a wash eventually.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Okay. All right, and then looking at the other items as far as the expenditures, I mean, as you can see, I did talk to the chief about the training and travel. The amounts that's been spent in the last couple of years have been minor, but now that he's full staff and having people who can cover shifts, he'll be able to send more people into training, and that's gonna be a huge benefit for the department. So I'm looking to do an increase on that. The building repair and maintenance, a little increase there. Office and equipment, auto supplies like bumped just a tad because of gas prices going up, and plus we do have that one vehicle that's kind of giving us a going back and forth. So if we surplus it, it may take that out and we'll be okay. We do have just one debt service for them now, and it is at a budget of $11,397 per annual cost. In moving forward, looking at the new vehicle, do you guys want to pay that out of the funds, or do you want to establish a loan for that?
I'd say probably do a loan for a new one and pay off this one. Is that what that is?
Yep, the payoff on the one that we currently have is $30,000. Well, Paul gave it to me earlier, it's about $30,000.
It's between 30 and 31.
I mean, do we see anything we can pay for this year, cause he's $100 and some odd $40,000 under on salaries presently.
You can go ahead, we can go ahead and pay off the other vehicle, which like I said, is about $31,000.
Cause I don't foresee him using.
Potentially for, yeah, so we're only looking at 60 days basically for the end of budget year. Could potentially go ahead and do the body armor, that would take care of that as well.
I think we could,
Okay. So,
as long as they don't mess up our grant.
okay, so we'll look at, the body armor and then, cost of either paying off the current vehicle.
Could we do the National Night Out? Only $650.
National Night Out is usually September, is that right? August, so it would fall in the next budget year.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say if you do the car and the body armor, that would be great.
Okay. Let's do that. Alright. Looking at page 6 is your fire department. I called Travis today so we could talk about the brush truck being like one of the major things that needs to be taken care of at this budget year. And hopefully, if we've got funding left, we can move forward and have that taken care of this year. There are some surplus funds that we could request from the county. So basically, right now, they're currently at $449,187 odd cent, and they were budgeted at $583,619. We had the funding that we could go ahead and move forward with the brush truck this budget year, if you guys want to do that.
How much was that at the county?
46,000, last time I checked.
So 45,000. And you got a savings in your salaries of?
Well, overall, they have about 130. About 130,000.
A new brush truck's gonna cost 90?
105 roughly is what we looked at. It's 88,000.
Yeah, but we're taking 10 off of it.
Okay, so 78,000 and then 16,000 for the up build.
But you're adding back on the bed.
Yep.
Right?
What's that?
You're adding back on the bed. You're taking 10 off of the bed that's on it?
No, sir.
Okay.
10,000 off.
The current, the quote that she's got has a $10,000 brush truck that we're not gonna do.
Okay.
So that's.
So your total truck, lights and sirens and all was 80,000?
88, yeah.
Okay.
Not,
The
the
quote's
truck
for
itself's
88.
like 90, or 78,
Yep.
plus 15, 90, 95,000.
Okay.
Just under 100,000, if you take that 10 off. So, I mean, basically, we can move forward that, we can request the surplus funds from the county and move forward and that takes that off the next year.
Yeah, because the county's money's just sitting there, and we have to kindly match it, because we can't,
Right.
they can't pay more than we are within reason.
So we have enough surplus that we could do 50 and then the county's 45 is the
Yep.
95.
And by this year, before it goes up, and gets all the new admission and all.
Yes. Okay, we'll move forward with that. The other items that are listed, of course, Travis, and I appreciate that he's provided you guys with the forward look for the department, and knowing that we're gonna need to start looking to add more paid staff to their department. But he's asking to add one person for 8 hours on the weekend. And of course, looking at a 5% COLA telephone adjusted for internet service for the cattle apparatus. And then training and travel, this is the last year that we have with that target contract, so we have to still budget for it. And then the automatic transfer switch for the generator. We talked about maybe, Michael possibly taking the generator that's there at the police, the fire department, and just getting a new one here that would have the automatic switch included, so.
Yeah, we have a quote that Paul sent me for $13,000 for the automatic transfer switch for what we currently have.
But if we do the switcheroo with you and Michael, the new one may have a,
It would come, yeah,
It would come with it.
it would be a generator, I mean, it would be a pair install.
and you're good with that, right, Michael?
Oh, I'm easy going.
Yeah, right. Glad Troy's not here.
He might have rolled his eyes just then, huh? Okay, so, Sanford Electric is who provided the quote for the transfer switch. And they're gonna give us a cost of, an actual generator with the switch built in, see what we can do compared to apples, whether we put the switch in or whether we let Michael take that generator and put in a new one here. And, I'll update you guys when that quote comes in. Let's see, anything else? Looking at increasing our power costs, another $1 this year. Excuse me. Which would bring us to $12 a call. This is 13. This is our $13 a call. So, for those volunteers that are helping out, it does help with the cost of gas and as a reimbursement. Excuse me, y'all. Any other questions or anything that you guys want to look at for the fire department? Okay, brush truck and. Alright. Page 7 is our public works department. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Michael is looking at several different things this year. A lot falls under his plate as well. Of course, the first one was the portable generator for pump stations. Now, is that what you would use if we take this generator? So that would take that off the plate. Alright, a service line camera, which is $7,500. Feel like we've looked for a camera for quite a while now.
I'd say he needs that.
Which would that come out of my budget or short my budget?
Troy's not here out of his budget, I guess, but.
But David's here.
Oh, David.
Yeah,
Yeah, do I have any say so?
yeah, just say no.
Not really, but.
I guess it is used for sewer, for sewer service. It's kind of like where you buy the sewer lines, but it's under their budget. So we would capture it in their budget line item. Yeah. So $7,500. I'm gonna make a note back on this wastewater and see what we've got there.
I'll try to acquire the money and put it in.
We actually, currently have funding in their budget, if you wanted to try to go ahead and get that knocked out this budget year.
Yeah, so it's good. Troy's supposed to get his split unit this year too.
Yes, and I don't know.
Yeah, we may have something else.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
alright, so we'll check on that and see where you are on that.
Yeah.
Alright, estimated, wiring to add the additional new Christmas lights that we received a fund for. It's gonna cost about $2,150 for 500 feet. For 500 feet, we're gonna need like 2,500 feet. I mean,
We went over this, and you remember now, it doesn't wire hold the phone anymore.
yeah,
So the next day, I gotta do the separate breaker box, based on the.
2,500 is what I got wrote down here in feet. Ain't you gotten part of it?
21 per 500 feet. So what do you think that's gonna cost per pole? Like with your breaker box and everything?
I think I have a quote on my computer for it.
Okay, let's look at that because I think that'll make a difference.
I wanna say it was about $250 a pole plus whatever new charges to hook them up.
Okay,
I got 12.5 now for some reason. For the whole.
Yeah, I don't remember what new charges to hook them up.
okay. Alright, we'll find that out.
I wrote down 500 each new Christmas light.
Yeah, that seems about right.
That's, yeah.
Not counting what new charges.
So it'll cost us an additional $500 per light.
For each new Christmas light.
Which now I think that's stretching it a little. I think I can get cheaper. I won't
I'm
honestly
pretty
say
sure,
about
that's what he
250.
said, because I
Okay,
thought it was
okay, we'll look at that. And we'll take the cost that was approved by the grant to see how many Christmas lights we can build out. On that note, do you guys want to have the snowflakes identical to the ones that we have, or the snowflake, they're all, we could put another like kind with it so that they're snowflakes. I mean, is that your discretion, but we just need to know direction so we can order them.
And I got a
They're
very
Long as they're
reasonable discount on the snowflakes, so now would be the time to get them.
Yeah.
You could give them a quote.
Well, only
So I
thing
guess you
different
can
about them
mix,
snowflakes is
what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it-
what she
as long
does.
as they're not,
Yeah,
like, they're the same.
they're same width,
Same
just a different
size.
style. Yeah,
Right.
same size, but a
Yeah,
different
I think they're
style.
6 foot across.
Well, every snowflake is different, you know.
That's
That's
right.
right, I think
That's
that would
right.
look good.
So they're currently a
Personally.
they're actually a 6 foot snowflake, and so there are different options. And, if, you guys are okay, we can, maybe order a different kind so that when they're putting them up, they'll just put up every other one or something. It might be.
Be different.
Okay, we'll look at that. And we can go ahead and have those ordered, because like I said, it's part of that grant. Okay. The pipe locator, $3,500. Michael, you got budget, you can go ahead and order that.
He needs it.
And then, the back truck still needs some repairs. Do you know what kind and how much?
I might get him back out there and let him
I
do it.
think he just puts that on every year.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just gonna be all right.
It's your standard.
It's a slide, can't get out of the machine, or.
It's just the seals go bad, they're all rubber, the O-rings go bad, it's just maintenance mostly.
Okay. The next item was a dump truck, and we continue to look for one of those. I know you're still on the search for that. We've got Mayor Morris helping to search through sites and auction places to see if we can find one. So that may happen this budget year. If it does, that will be great. The sewer camera for the main lines. So this year,
That's a big ticket out.
yeah, it's a big ticket item, but we'll hopefully benefit from this I&I study, that we're gonna have a good cambered system and know where our issues are. So, that could be something that we could hold on for another year. Your hydrant replacement, we have been looking at replacing 15 to 20 annually, is that right?
Or if we can afford that.
6 a year is what I have
Yeah,
now.
them things keep going up.
Oh,
Take
I'm sorry,
10
we
years to replace.
15 to 20 was for the storage, replacement valve. That was what we were talking about that, so, alright.
You see, we had to step up some of the fire hydrant replacements because we found out the older hydrants we had in the system, they don't make a short fit and they go back on. Pretty much gotta get rid of them with the new hydrants.
Alright, the
I'm gonna
other,
carry an adapter on the truck. We got an adapter on the truck now.
okay, that's good. That can help with those that are not able to change over. Looking for grants, of course, we'll have more information coming to us from Gluten with the capital improvement plan. So we have a phone call with them tomorrow, morning, so we'll know more about the grants, or about the CIP and where they're at with that. The valve replacement, $3,500 to $4,500. we're looking at,
Yeah, that's gotta be done.
You really need to base that off of hydraulics too.
you do, and that's what he's calling about
Is that
tomorrow.
forthwith coming?
Yeah, so that'll be forthcoming, and that may be what they're calling to review tomorrow. If it is, I'll send it out to you guys as soon as we get through with the email. So based on whatever their findings are, I think that's gonna drive this line item as far as what they recommend. As to how many and where, and that'll drive what size it is. Our snow plow, we have the old, what do you call motor grader that we need to,
Yeah.
we need
yeah,
to surplus
it.
it.
We
And
do that.
so in looking at surplusing that, we need to add a new plow or purchase a plow that can be put on the front of the trucks.
Can it be gotten this year?
Probably not.
Maybe.
Plow for the front of the truck.
We have the camo that's it.
Yeah, she's talking about, can you get one to go on the dump truck this year?
Well, the plow's gonna be driven by what truck we put it on, by the mount. And if we put it on the dump truck we have now, that's well and good, but we might buy a dump truck that's already got a mount on it. If I can find one.
Yeah, we missed a sale Saturday.
Okay. Alright, and then,
I mean, if I find one and we got the money, we'll get it. I mean, it ain't really pressing me to, I mean, we get snow every 2 or 3 years.
Can you get rain, yeah.
He's just got a lot of room in his budget. Is there anything else we can do from this year? It's basically $300,000 under.
you do have the POW bill that's $200,000, and that's earmarked. So $200,000, and part of your paving's gonna come out of that, which
Okay.
was $50,000,
Okay.
I think, right at 50,000. So basically $250,000 of that's already earmarked for paving and sidewalks. But we'll definitely look at anything that we can push out, we'll try to get him to.
Could get some valves or something.
The other items that Mike has listed, you know, of course, auto supplies, things go up, gas is over $4 a gallon. We hope that that'll come down, but we don't know, so we have to prepare for that. And, cost of running the town, as we've seen even in our daily lives, that everything's going up. The, cones that he's asking for, it seems to be an every year purchase, we just purchased 100 last year. And, they're, cones, so that may be an easy item we can get now.
I thought Scotty got.
Yeah, I got some.
I wrote got, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
What, how many you want?
Well, I asked the DOT if the rig would work, and he won't give me an answer.
Okay.
Okay, we'll need to find out so that
Yep.
we can.
I got up to 250.
Okay. Alright. And
Last
then,
thing on mine, the most important thing is staff.
alright, Michael, you know, last year we budgeted for Michael to hire someone who would be starting that process of, succession planning for an assistant for him. And, did not find anybody, we hired another individual just to have manpower, and they've since moved on. So it is important that we find someone that is a second in command in the Public Works Department.
Are we doing any advertising on that?
Well, we reached out, and again, to Paula, we have a price sheet where everybody's paying that.
And I gave that to Angel to review.
A lot of those on there, we already pay above that.
Yeah.
So we're doing pretty good as far as that's concerned. We just need to know what requirements you are truly looking for in that, and be able to get that pushed out so you can have
Yeah, they
somebody in
do.
place.
See what you and Troy, because Troy goes,
We need a couple strong individuals.
so they're not in here, so you have to look at it for them.
But a lot of that information needs to come from the department head, so we can compile that.
Somebody that he was. I thought there was something you talked about that night, that you were gonna call somebody to get with somebody, you knew somebody that might fit.
Oh, I talked to several people, but like I say, we just need to get together and figure out what we can offer them to work here. And I think Hayden's thinking about coming back.
That was for a split second.
He asked me.
Maybe that's what it was.
He asked me just a while ago if I would put in my budget, his
He
recertification
can't,
for
he
school.
can't technically do that and be a commissioner, so.
Yeah, his is expired, he wants recertified.
Okay. Any other questions or things that you want us to look at for Michael? Not, we'll move
We
forward.
do need to get on that hiring though.
I know, Troy and I have a meeting tomorrow afternoon, I had talked to David that we'll pull him into, so we'll talk about that tomorrow. Alright, for your water plant, let's just say water in general. Let's look at the enterprise fund, your administration, most of the time, those are just items that are handled by the town office and that are paid through a 50-50 split. Salaries, things that have to do with the water plant or water utilities, water sewer utilities. On page 9, that's your breakdown for current revenues as far as where we are. And we are right on track to be at our projected budget of revenues for last year. So our meters are showing that they're paying for themselves.
Plus on that, I guess we got 100,000 coming in, 120,000 back pay from Handy.
Yes, so that will be even more of a benefit. We'll have to go back and post that to last year's revenues, which will be nice. We can send that into the state and let them know that we've captured this and accounted for that. So yeah, the back pay is gonna help. So we won't be in the red for that last year, let's say it that way.
And this says, current fund balance, 0, is that right?
No, that's where if we've taken money from the current fund balance, we've not taken anything from the fund balance for the water and sewer fund yet.
Okay.
So that's kind of an expense part. We've not needed revenues from the fund balance to make the budget.
I know Jason, I sent him a couple floor people, one of which getting prices back there.
I'm not sure, he was not able to be with us tonight. I will find out tomorrow. I'll ask him. I know he did have one come out there. May have already had 2, so I'll ask him about his flooring.
Cause that place looks like a wreck.
Yeah, the floor is it's just awful. It's the same flooring that we have here, and that top, we've had several people look at it, and that top level is just gone. And it doesn't buff out. Seems like when one of our operators there one time, they tried with buffing it, and it doesn't do anything.
It's wore out.
Yeah,
It's wore out.
It is, absolutely. So it will definitely make it look much more appealing to have a new floor.
You might just do the office area and the lab
Mm-hmm.
with what's in there, and then do something else.
So the rest
In
of
the other
like
areas.
bottom. Okay, that's an option. And I know that he did have someone come out and look too with the area where the chemicals are. As you guys remember at the site visit, that concrete floor how it's busting and everything. I think you had sent someone a name for an epoxy type deal, and I think they've been out to look just after.
Lifted it up, he had the problem, I think there it is, 100,000 to 250,000.
Yeah. For the cost, yeah. Looking at Jason's budget, as you know, I mean, everything that has to do with water and sewer costs so much more than what other departments do. The SCADA, I definitely think the SCADA is something that we need to try to figure out if we can do that this year to keep that moving forward in order for what we have built on to be expanded and improved for the operators to keep moving forward with that.
Yeah, could we get a closer price, you think, from 40 to 85?
Yes, and what I'll ask, I'm pretty sure he has reached back out to, is it Jonathan?
Yeah, it's what he wants to do. He can
Yeah.
either do the Toyota version or he can do the Cadillac version.
Yeah, it's like phase 2 can be this big or he can scale it down, so.
I would be good, well, we need it, but.
Yeah.
Let's go with the
And it may
budget
be,
will work.
right, it may be that instead of doing the whole entire thing, you could just do that small portion this year and then build onto it again. So we'll find out what that is. Of course, the inline instrumentation, again, it's a wide range there. I will ask him to give us the quotes and looking at, I think when he talked to you guys, he was wanting to switch those, pumps over so that they're all the same. Am I stating that right? You guys were talking about that,
And
because right now we have a different
does
system.
that go in the room that we're rehabbing?
Well, at one time, I thought he wanted the stations.
Yeah, that's what he's looking at doing.
Yeah. So
Doing,
that's gonna be a whole lot more expensive than this.
it's supposed to be like a station that has all the pumps together, but it does go in that
I have a
room.
quote for it.
Okay.
They sent me, see if I can give it to you
Okay.
tomorrow.
We'll look at that. We'll ask him, I'm gonna ask him to list which one is the most important. Again, these are things that
Yeah,
are
'cause
going
that
to be, yes. These are things that are gonna be, right, the chemical feed upgrades. So you've got that, but then you also have your pumps that need, or the, inline that needs to be.
Yeah, that's what I was asking, is inline instrumentation, 60 to 140,000, does that go in the room that we're gonna have to rehab?
Yes. Caustic alum and chlorine, that's his three main things.
So we probably shouldn't do that till we do the room.
Correct.
Well, it would be a waste of money not to do the pumps and the cabinets if you're gonna leave caustic all back over the brand new floor. So you pretty much need to do the pumps if you're gonna do the floor.
In which order?
Do the floor and then put the pumps in.
That's what I thought,
But I mean, it's gonna have to be, you know.
cause that's the floor that's gotta come up.
Well, I don't think they're gonna take the old floor up.
No, but they're gonna pump it up,
They're
I
gonna raise
assume.
the floor.
Yeah, that's what I mean, they're just gonna steam it, pressure wash it, clean it, then pour self-leveling epoxy on it, and level the floor back out.
You talking about where the big tanks were originally inside?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that floor's gotta come back up, gotta stabilize the foundation.
Right, cause where it's, the side of the buildings,
Well,
Giving away.
there again, are we gonna tear the floor up and fix the actual drains in the floors that don't work anymore before we put the floor in? Because
Well, fix
none
it,
of-
whatever
none
it
of the
takes.
drains-
so in other words, there's a lot more than just the floor that needs to be
Yeah, that's-
addressed. Okay,
That's why I suggested Jason, he just whooped down there, that engineer fellow for that water plant. They just make a compiled list of what needs to be done and when it needs to be done.
Yeah.
and that's what the study will give us. When I talk to John tomorrow,
And
let
on
him
that
know
same
we
thing,
really need
Michael,
to know.
all the water's in the pump room,
That's how the floor drain was stopped, but
can we unstop them?
no, I have tried and tried and tried, I honestly think, you remember when they dug the parking lot up? I think they dug through all the drains and then put them back and just buried them.
Can we put a sump pump in there?
Where you gonna put it?
On the damn floor.
You're gonna have to drill a hole in the floor and get somewhere low enough to put the pump in. I run exterior drains through the wall trying to keep the water off the pump seals outside. But the state don't like that because it's.
I bet they like the water even less.
We need to get the drains back.
Yeah.
That's why I say engineer needs to go through there and just give us a list.
Yeah,
Fix this,
prioritize.
this, this.
I think honestly, that's Jason's whole budget. I know one of our biggest concerns is our sludge handling. And he has different options laying here, which are stated here, which is drying beds, mechanical dewatering, and then reducing land applications. We have the land and we can look at an easy, quick solution, maybe the drying beds. And so, again, part of that is gonna fall under, what Wooten suggests is the best option for us moving forward. And then they can also help us apply for the grants to help pay for that too.
And that's a 50-50 with Sandy.
Yes. It would be, because that's what they just said they would agree to. So,
We just need to tell them when we figure it out.
If
okay,
you want that pile of dirt to move over, we're gonna need to put a little bit in the budget at the water plant to move the fence,
okay.
so we can push that grade it out, and then we put the fence back up.
Okay. Is that something that we can do in-house?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was talking to me about it today.
And are we gonna take the
Flatten it
dirt,
out.
where are we gonna take the dirt, extra dirt?
There's that big gully that we've been
Fill it
filling in
in.
for years, we'll just push it, level that gully out.
And I'm waiting to hear back from some more people down there about that corner. I've heard back from 4 that wanna sell, but there's like 6 others we haven't heard back from.
But again, they talked to Wood and see if that's gonna be enough ground for us to do what we need to do.
Yeah, and then they're gonna have to do some boards to see if we can work it out. It's a long way from home yet.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Like I said, I think a lot of Jason's, he's covered everything very well, all the needs that are going on at the plant. But, I think this is still something that we're gonna have to look at budget, operate what we can, and what the necessity is, and then the bigger things. I think it's through the direction of our engineer, moving forward. I would definitely say SCADA is something that we'll look at for this year. Our flooring issues with both the chemical feed room and upstairs, downstairs if we can, and then the chemical feed upgrades. And then,
And if you got enough money now, you might get that, meter, cause we need to know how much is going.
Yeah, we need to budget that meter in, I still don't have a quote for it.
Yeah.
okay,
He's supposed to be getting us a quote.
and that's to, wastewater, the
Yeah.
water to
Help us
waste.
know what we actually,
Cause the last big meter coming in, he's supposed to be coming to put it in.
Okay. Alright, sounds good. And then on our wastewater department, on page 13. we dropped in figures on, Troy and David's budget. They graciously give us those each year, so I appreciate that. On budgeting for professional services, they actually came down to 30,000. I wanna still look at that, we may increase that a little bit more, especially after we figure out how much the dumpster rental and pickup and disposal will be for the bar screen conveyor. That's
yeah, 'cause
duties.
David, that must go straight to the landfill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That'll be.
If you ever get it.
Yeah.
Utilized. Yeah.
What is that?
Okay. So, training and travel, requesting it to be at $5,000, and that is to, cover the continual education that we're seeing. Michael's staff falls under this part of the budget as well for certain items. And so, we budget for training on Michael's side, on public works, and also on the wastewater side to help cover the cost of those employees getting their certifications needed. The building and maintenance repair, requested budget at $6,000 to add a new mini split air conditioning unit for the office. Received a quote at $4,600, and we have budget if you guys wanna move forward with having that done now.
Yeah, we told him to go ahead and do that.
Okay. General maintenance and upkeep and painting, so.
Angel, on the
Yeah.
North Main Street pump station, was that in the AWA or whatever, one of those initials?
AIA.
Yeah.
So they have initially, assessed every pump station, and if I'm not mistaken, David, they did say that they are all in need of updates. Is that not right?
Yeah, North Main was the biggest issue.
North Main being the biggest
Well, Spring
issue.
too.
Spring,
Spring North Main is 2 more points.
so, it is part of that study, and again, if that report's ready, I'll get that from John tomorrow when I talk to him, so I can send out, but, in looking at this, we had the failure at Spring Street pump station, and with the replacement of the, pump, being that our replacement pump was not working, and then we had to have, someone come in and, empty the pump station 2 or 3 times a day. Scotty Robbins did that for us, but that was about $10,000, so, it's expensive. If you look at 10,000 versus the upgrade of 45,000, it's minimal as to what we had, and that was only for a few days, wasn't it? About a week?
Maybe a week, yeah.
About a week.
We could have bypassed some of it, but we didn't have enough bypass over a manhole close enough to do it.
Looking at the budget, I'll look to see what else, the other projects that they have going on. I mean, some of these things that they have listed, we can definitely go ahead and take
You
care
didn't
of.
charge him to dump it, did you?
No, we didn't charge them to dump it. The other maintenance and repair, which filed for a building, is to upgrade their surveillance system down there. Be able to have lights, or eyes on the property when the guys are not present. So I think that's a necessity for them. And that quote is through the same company that we use here, the CSW, SCW, sorry. The right letters.
How many cameras is that for, though? I mean, I would think we need many.
Do you remember?
I do not remember. A lot different for each location.
I'll pull that back out and make note of how many it is. I know it was, carrying the front gate. There's also one that's designated there for the pump station itself, for the bulk dump area. Probably there around the lab, and then maybe one at the back. So 4 to 5. I don't think any more than that, but we'll verify that just to see if it's enough coverage or too much. We'll find out. Maintenance and repair on your sewer lines, and budgeting at $20,000. And again, this is what Michael, his budget he uses to buy sewer lines to repair in town. So it's kind of generated by whatever the need is to be replaced or repaired. Okay, and then auto supplies, leaving that $5,000. Probably time this year for new tires and things like that.
We've discussed it, yeah.
Okay. Departmental supplies, requesting at $70,000. It's just a slight increase of $4,000, but as we stated, chemicals and everything, we're getting quotes from our distributors now saying that they're seeing cost increasing. Land applications remain at a $35,000. And that is for the application, and we also pay the Sexton Farm $500 for the use in their farm. The other large ticket item was for a tractor to be able to use at the plant to do work around there that they need to handle. It also lists that the quote for an OPE is $27,622. And then also replacing the UMA actuators. The UMA actuators are about $7,000 to $8,000 a piece now, so David's just smiling, so, okay.
Yeah, I don't think we need a tractor right now. I mean, we got a skid steer down there, Michael's got all kinds of mowing stuff. David, just call Michael, tell him come mow it.
I got you.
If you don't do it, call me.
Okay.
We can get their shop, get that.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, all right, anything on the wastewater plant? Any questions? All right, thank you for walking through that. I know it was time consuming, but it was needed. And I will get these figures as close as we can and send them out for you guys to start reviewing on the budget.
Dick James, you got anything other than what you already said?
Very little. You know about the job offer, hole in the gas tank before. We bought that car from the highway patrol. I'm getting a free gas tank from them to save us some money. They're gonna take it off this week, so hopefully we'll have that one back on the road. I'm sure you've seen the social media on the scooters.
No, I ain't saying a thing.
Me neither,
Just
so.
hadn't been on there then.
I'm not trying to run this place like Charlotte, I promise you. I was actually in a place of business and I saw a scooter go by and I knew exactly what the business owner was talking about. and a person walked out of that store, we would have had somebody seriously hurt. Me personally, as we were at one of the gas stations in town, fueling our personal vehicle, a scooter came by within inches of our brand new vehicle. And my wife screamed, and if somebody had opened the door, it wouldn't have been a good situation. So I personally have seen it. And we do have an ordinance that says you can't operate them. Does our ordinance probably need to be updated? It does. You know, when that ordinance was written, we didn't have e-bikes. We really didn't have motorized scooters. We got a lot of elderly people going into that post office every day. I worry about them crossing the street, first of all, and I worry about them walking in the post office or coming out with their mail, as I see a lot of them do, looking at their mail and a scooter running into them. Us elderly people can really get injured quickly. We have received a complaint about speeding on Flat Swamp. We have clocked people 60 to 70 miles an hour as they come into Denton. So it is a valid complaint, and we're working on that. Be glad to answer any complaints you might have, or questions you might have. Complaints are in my brain, I guess.
I did see this on social media, but then I heard several people in the store talking about it today. There is a vehicle that parks on the sidewalk, up on Peacock Street.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Very familiar with it.
And, you know, if people were saying, if the scooters and other things can't be on the sidewalk, that truck should not be either, because it's also blocking the way.
Right. I concur with you, and the manager and I have discussed that. I don't know where that stands.
So there's an ongoing conversation that property owner has with their neighbors, regarding the sidewalk in front of that business. I think I've shared with you guys some of that through email. And it is, I think it's if I could say spite, that they feel like we're not doing our job by not keeping that business from parking a vehicle where they consider it to be a sidewalk. However, there's not a sidewalk there. So, it's been very vocal and verbal to both Chief and I over that, and has been told that that's not acceptable, but I haven't seen it back.
Need to move that truck and need to decide where that other parking lot, is it a sidewalk or not a sidewalk?
It's not.
Okay, then we can't do nothing about that. I don't guess, is that right, Madam Attorney General?
Correct.
So,
And we've shared that with him.
move the tow truck. and-
But that other is a sidewalk. and
That
that
other
is
is
a
a
sidewalk.
Yeah,
It's good.
it is.
Then I'm understanding we proceed with letting him know you can't park on the sidewalk. You're
Yeah, if you
blocking
park
it.
on the road, we can't do nothing about them parking on the road, even if it is a little wider.
Right. Okay.
He's welcome to park on the road, I don't think we can do anything about that.
Well, not unless we have an ordinance that says he can.
We don't,
We didn't
unless he's
have,
there.
we didn't have DOT come out and look at the area. We had them look at, would they consider this, because his other argument was that it was in the right of way, that where the business is parking their vehicles, that it's in the right of way. And DOT said their right of way stops
Curb
at
to
the
curb.
curb. So his argument's not valid.
It is, because when we put the sidewalks in there, we found that out, didn't we, Michael?
Yeah, y'all went through and had to get easements from everybody who overlaid the sidewalk.
Yeah. That's correct.
And there was we have discovered paperwork where we did look at the potential of putting a sidewalk there. But we did not establish it as a sidewalk because it is a parking
Because
lot.
there's already asphalt there, we didn't want to go to that expense.
Absolutely. And so it's not a sidewalk.
Roy.
Is saying what though?
The
he's parking
neighbor,
On the,
so Davidson Tire's
Asphalt.
neighbor
Yes.
is saying that Davidson Tire parking the vehicle up next to the road is blocking the sidewalk,
But there's no sidewalk.
but
it's
there's
a
no
new
sidewalk.
sidewalk, it's all asphalt.
Okay, that's just, but the ones that they back up
Mm-hmm,
close to that.
yes.
this gentleman claims that it blocks his view pulling out of his driveway, was his argument that he shared with me.
It
But,
is,
I mean, it's still not a sidewalk, so.
They just in a, you know what, match.
Right. We'll take care of the, vehicle being parked on the sidewalk, we'll direct him, he can park in the roadway.
And what do we do about that?
And I think it's wide enough where I don't think that should cause a problem now.
I mean, it's basically just
I forget what the
two
ordinance says,
tires, that's all.
24 hours or something.
All right. Anything else?
And Chief, you posted something back on that stoplight caution light where I had a complaint on.
Yes, we had another wreck there today. Mr. Gallimore.
Wasn't the same guy, was it?
No. But the DOT is coming to do a traffic study there soon. We desperately need, maybe this has been addressed before and they said no, and I'll ask Mr. Sink, but it looks like we should have a crosswalk from the people parking in front of the post office where they can get across to the post office and they've got the right of way.
I think we did ask for one time, do you remember?
we did, so we did ask them to establish like a pedestrian crosswalk in the middle between, Anderson and North Main Street. And they declined it because it was too close to the stoplight. But we have been approved for the pedestrian safety grant through the NCDOT, and they are gonna be coming in and doing, you know, establishing true crosswalks at our intersections. So, that will be taking place, you know, whenever they get to it. It's a free service to the town, but it's on their streets. But they won't put one in the middle of that area, which is unfortunate.
Yeah,
Cause I cross it too, I mean, I know, I think we all do,
we've had some close ones.
yeah.
Well, people don't use caution when they're driving through there anyway, and they're already
Right.
put on the pedal.
Any more questions for the chief? Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Chief Morris's report's in your packet, I think.
He has to be, to leave, the other Bob and go to.
Jason's not here, he's sick or had surgery or something today, didn't he?
He did, and he said everything went well, he's just home recovering.
Mr. Branch, oh no, it's David.
You know, I'm much better listener than he is.
Oh,
I was looking pants you got on.
Thank you. All in all, we had a pretty slow month, except for the first week there where our pump station, the pump failed up there. Once we got that in, everything's been going well with that. But yeah, me and Michael was talking about some improvements that need to be done there too. Also, thank you. Yeah, the second week, me and Michael went to land application school there in Raleigh. That was very interesting.
The school or you and Michael?
probably both.
Yeah, he's getting right ornery.
Getting.
Yeah, fussing about people and traffic and everything. But so we will test for that, set for that exam in June. And for the 3 years I've known Michael, I've never been able to best him on nothing. But so the number one thing is I want to pass this thing. But number two, I want to do better than Michael if I can. Yeah, if there any way possible.
Good luck, he's a whiz.
Yeah, I know. Other than that, we've just kind of been working on the pump stations, getting them mowed, weed eated, getting them better looking. We've been able to do some paint work out at the treatment plant. We did whenever Sanford Electric came through for the fire department. We had them look at. We got a pump that wants to keep cutting off. They looked at that for us, and they're going to get back with us on that. That's pretty much all we had going on this month.
Any question for David? Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Mr. Hyde. Good looking uniform, son.
We'd like to thank y'all for the uniform. The shirt ain't included, this is old shirt, pants. trying to stay ahead of water leaks. We fixed another one today, and then we found another one at the wastewater plant today. We gotta fix first thing in the morning. I've had several employees out. I'm gonna have several more employees out, want to take vacation. Put out mulch. We run out of mulch to do the flag at Red Hill, but the rock garden has some. I just have to run down there and get a few scoops to finish that mulch up there. Like I say, I had 3 to go to pesticide school. They took their exam. Take about 2 weeks to find out if they pass. We don't know yet. 2 are scheduled to go to CDL school. So I'll be down 2 employees for 4 weeks. So that's gonna leave 3 of us at Public Works. I say all the master meters are in but one. It come in this week, and your table's over, I think, they told me. And he's gonna schedule, get that put in. There's a few meters not reporting right. Supposed to go back and check them. We gotta get with Mount Vista and the school. We'll have to shut their water off to change their meters. Hopefully it won't be about a 15-minute ordeal, but we still gotta do some scheduling with them. And our usual work. That's about it.
Michael, on that, or David, on that pump station, Spring Street, we're just waiting on Wood to tell us what to do.
Well,
I mean, if we spent $10,000, that would went a long way, correct?
no,
It wouldn't?
that pump station was put in for about 7 houses. And now they've built them 2 neighborhoods. They're single phase. It needs to be upgraded to a 3-phase pump. They'd burn a whole lot less power. They would run a whole lot shorter time. And they're not but 3.5 horsepower.
Yeah.
They're not but a 3.5 horsepower pump, a little bitty grinder pump. And there's supposed to be 2 in the wet well. There's only 1. We have another one, but the bottom of the wet well where the pump sits is bad, so it's going to be rehabbed. And then, you know, the piping and everything else is probably gonna have to get rehabbed.
Yeah, but $10,000 we spent in just pumping was just a waste.
Well, no, we gotta have the pump station running.
I understand all that, but I mean, if it had been running, we wouldn't have spent the $10,000 just to get rid of the waste.
Well,
So-
you never, we didn't spend $10,000 to get rid of waste. All he done was pumped it out of the pump station and run it up to the gravity manhole and dumped it in.
But we paid him $10,000.
Yeah, but he done it 3 times a day for
Yeah,
about a week.
I'm not saying he charges, I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
If I'm saying correctly, if the backup pump that we had worked.
Yeah, we don't know what happened there, cause we had a
It had
backup
been
pump.
rebuilt, but for some reason, it did not work.
It would not work.
So we had to send it off to be rebuilt, and then that's why we had that downtime.
Yep.
So it was
I mean,
back that.
We keep a spare pump for every pump station we have. And for some reason, we took it off the pallet and went over and installed it. It would not come on. So sent it back to the motor shop. Cause you know, we rely on the motor shop to test it before we get it, because we don't really have no way to sit it in the water and hook it up and make sure it works.
Oh, yeah, I understand that.
But hopefully we can get that remedied. It'll be on the sewer survey that Wooten's doing.
Any questions, Michael?
I got a quick one. Land application, why is that so expensive?
Because it is.
I mean, why? It looks like it'd be a simple thing to do.
It's not. We got a couple options coming up. When I was in that school, I talked to several of the guys that's in this industry. And the main gist of this school that I come out with is, if you got a class A sludge,
Right.
you're still on the ground, they don't care anymore. If you got a class B sludge, which is what we have, you better start jumping through some hoops. Cause then it has to go either to a land application company that's permitted to do it, or we have to send it to a line landfill at about $47 a ton. So we got a meeting coming up. We're trying to get our sludge classified as an A. And if we can do that, it's gonna save us a lot of money.
A bunch.
And, you know, like I say, we're gonna look into drying beds and different options, but the sludge ain't going away. It just ain't. Everwater plant, Thomasville, I talked to Jeff Kennard, y'all remember him? He runs Thomasville City, and they've been fighting it for the last couple of years, and they don't know what to do with it. So it's just a money
money pit.
Do we have a lot of sludge
Depends on the
compared
rain.
to other places
That's up to Mother Nature.
because the water's muddy?
Like right now,
Okay.
hardly nothing. But if you had a set basin, like we're trying to get some land built, hopefully 75–85% of the mud in the water would settle out there. Then you would have to treat it at the plant. And if it settles out there with no chemical in it, it's just dirt.
Do what we want.
Do whatever we want with it.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh,
Total customers billed paper and email was 1,256. Total gallons billed for the April usage was 4,897,868, which billed out at $120,647.19. Total gallons billed for the final accounts was 2,923, which billed out at $314.94. The unbilled gallons, which are the town-owned properties, is 873,338. And I am working on the handy, being that it's gone electronic now, I've got to go into each one of them and pull those and make sure I'm calculating those correctly. And also picking up what was on the old meters. Okay. In review, I would like to thank those on the board and also volunteers that were able to come out for our litter sweep. We had a total of 17 that came out, which was probably the largest group I had seen. That was held on Tuesday, April 21st. That also included the town of Denton Little Miss, Junior Miss, and Miss that came out, and they've also helped with putting really nice touches to our flower planters in the front part of the park, as well as South Main area there, and also beside the kiosk building. In regards to the EDC grants, I had reached out to Mike Morris early on after it was first talked about, doing the mural on March the 3rd, and I also reached out to him again today regarding his family's building there at the community market. I'm still waiting on him to get back with me, so if anyone sees him, can direct him to me on that. The legacy program will be pushed out very soon. Like everything else, the prices are going up dramatically. Had received a quote, and within 2 weeks, and that quote was due for 30 days only, it had already gone up $200 per table and bench, so which was quite expensive. We had a member of the class of 1965, which reached out to me prior to their class reunion dinner, and they have purchased one of the tables to go there at the park to be placed behind the pavilion at Harrison Park. And Michael just answered the question about how do we receive that in. So we have, and we'll be getting that placed. Thank you. The sponsor banner program is currently on the website and Facebook. We have had 5 people to place an order, 4 of which have been paid for now. As of last week, we'd only had 2 paid, so I had Elizabeth reach out to those to pay. We received 2 more. I did speak to Display Sales, and they are requiring a 6 minimum order, because if you do less than that, then the setup cost is more expensive. So to keep it at the rate that we have.
is that 6, is that custom?
The sponsor banners.
Because we're buying.
We can now add the ones that we're buying through the grant.
Well, I was going to ask if we could do that to make that.
Yeah,
So, but I
let's get those orders
also
in.
wanted to share these if you would like to take. I know you guys were sharing out to people about the music in the park, but these are also about sponsor banners. So if you are speaking to any of the business owners, maybe discuss the program with them and let them know about it and share this out. That might stimulate more orders. So if you all could take some of these, that would be great. That would also give you the opportunity to speak to business owners. All right, let's see. The polo shirts for the board and the mayor. I initially sent out something on April 23rd about that. I need guidance from you guys on the color that you're wanting, and I also need your sizes. Aaron so far has replied to me with the size, so if I can get everyone else's tonight or whatever, you know, and if y'all can make a decision on the color. So you see the color options below, listed with the names and so forth. And UniFirst, I did not realize, I know he had spoke to Misty and his presentation, but I seen where they sent you their guide, their contract or whatever, so I don't know if you've had an opportunity to look at that to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it okay to move
everything's
forward
good
with, okay, all right, so, we will move forward with getting the shirts ordered for Public Works, and then the water plant, the shirts and the red cap pants, can be ordered through them. And then, of course, you've seen, you know, the guys already wearing their pants, so Public Works has already purchased and received their pants. And I'm assuming you guys went ahead and ordered your shorts, shorts as well, so, okay. And that's all I have. Any questions?
Question for Paul.
And let me do state, I was almost done with minutes, but time just did not allow, so I will be sending those to you in draft format. If you see anything that needs to be, addressed, just put it back in the message between all of you. And then I can go ahead and revise that if there's no rebuttal to that for the next meeting.
Oh, is that what the turnaround time was on the banners?
He may have early on, and I'm not recalling what that was,
Okay.
but they've been very eager, and he's been very nice, he really
Be
did.
nice to get them up before 4th of July if you could.
Yeah, so if I'm allowed to do those other banners, I'll go ahead and get that sent in, tomorrow.
I think when we ordered the memorial banners, they're about 4-week process,
Yeah.
so
It's not long.
we should be able to have them in and out.
Madam Attorney?
Nothing no update for now.
Manager?
You guys have a copy of my report, if it's okay, I'm gonna, let you review that, if there's any questions that you have over things that we sent out this week, past couple weeks, let me know. But I do wanna mention, when we were talking about the budget, I failed to go over the options for our, ad valorem taxes and revenue. We do need to look at what direction we wanna go, whether we want to go with revenue neutral, possibly a midpoint rate, or stay at our current rate. And so I've given you details as to what that entails. The one, on the back side, front side just kind of gives us an overview of what we're looking at. Back side of the form tells you if we did revenue neutral, it would be, a reduction of our tax rate. We are currently at 0.600. We would reduce our rate to 0.411, and we would maintain our revenue as we have this year. The midpoint would be to reduce the rate, but it would be at 0.506, which would give us an increase of $227,879. And then our current rate, if we did nothing, would be an increase of $454,583. That is based on the preliminary figures that have been given to us from the county for the reevaluations. Now, those can change based on what, who and what properties have been asked to be reviewed. So, you know, what that final figure is, we're not sure yet.
And what the state does.
And depending on what the state does, because if the state bill passes, then the reevaluations have to be on hold till 2027. So that would affect this budget for sure.
And I think they're supposed to vote this week.
Yes. I looked this afternoon to see if it's been through one hearing and passed, it has not been through the second. So I feel sure probably see it tomorrow, Wednesday, go through the Senate, and then it'll have to go on to appropriations. The other thing I wanted to mention to you guys, I have a copy of the, phone service.
Yes.
Okay, so we are currently, with Carolina Digital Phone Services, which is the voice over IP phone system. We've been with them 5 years, and it's time to renew that contract with them. And speaking with Matt Reese at PTRC, they actually provide the same service but at a discount because they work for the municipality. They try to do as much as they can within PTRC to provide services that can be at our benefit, cost-wise. In talking with their representative, it's the same exact service that we currently have, but there's a savings of $55.50 per month, which over the whole year, it's a little less than $700 a year. We changed 5 years ago from Windstream to Carolina Digital, and we saved tremendously. It was about $800 a month, and we went down to $300 and odd dollars a month. We've had no problems with Carolina Digital. I'll say that up front. They've been very cooperative in anything that we've ever had or needed done, and have worked with us on multiple occasions when phones have gone down for whatever reason, and they're very quick to respond. The representative from PTRC, which their division is called PTRDC, and he stated that they're 24/7 as well. They answer calls. If they do not answer the call when you call in, they respond back within the hour. So it's very quick response. They also are very familiar with the E911, which is what we use at the police department. When someone calls in, there's not anyone there to answer the call. It switches automatically over to CCOM in order to get a hold of someone at the police department. Other than the cost, that's the only difference in these two. So, it is recommendation that to save the cost that we do move forward with PTRDC and for our phone systems. We own our equipment, so there's no cost equipment, and there's really no training because the phones operate the same as they do now. They do actually have a platform that individuals can go in and receive calls when they're at home. You can log in and you could switch your phone over so that you could receive phone calls through your computer at home or on your cell phone. I think I'm saying that correctly, which that's what I do when we have to close the office for whatever reason. It would need a vote of the board for us to do whatever you guys would prefer to do. It does, for those that aren't familiar with our system, we went from everybody having their own phone line to an interconnected system. We just dial extension 201's G, 300's the fire department, Michael's 400, sewer plant is 600, and the water plant's 500. They each have a different number that, depending on what part of the department you want to reach, you can dial that number directly. We can transfer calls from here. They can transfer calls from their department as well.
And this with PTRDC is the exact same as what
It's
you
the
have.
exact same.
To me, it's a brainer.
Me too.
Okay.
I make a motion to go with PTRDC for the next 5 years, with the savings of $55.50 a month.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries.
Okay. So any questions that you guys have?
I'm sure they come about the money market account
Oh,
interest.
yes. So, we've been working through budget, and I'll have pulled the statement today from our money market account where we transferred a large bulk of the money that was in the general fund over to that money market. And since January, it's earned $14,535.66. So,
I'm gonna look at that before I leave today.
Yeah. That's good money.
It's done. Good.
Also, just a quick note, we have a new system for our in-house credit card card processing, that's through First Bank. We set that up with First Bank years ago, and it was with Thesis, and then they moved away from First Bank, but we stayed with Thesis, and now they have a system that works well with them. It directly deposits into the account. If we have problems, we reach out. So that'll be switched over in-house.
I think that was what savings of
$100 a month that we'll save on that. And then we have the option to change our online payment system. There's not a savings that they could provide unless we go to charging a service fee, like letting them charge a service fee for processing that payment, which we don't currently do. We started in 2020 when the world shut down and we were taking payments online to be convenient for customers. We've since moved past that, and a lot of places let the consumer pay that fee. It would be a savings of anywhere from $750 to $1,000 a month if we went to letting them charge the consumer for that cost to process. So that's something that, the board can consider. Let me know what your thoughts are. We can split it and meet them in the middle. Whatever the rate, percentage rate is, we could pay part of it and let the consumer pay part, or we could just let the whole cost go to them.
What'd you say the percentage was? I toned out there for a second.
$750 to $1,000.
No, I mean, what's the percentage if we charge them?
I think it's 2.95, but it's charged at the charge rate, so it wouldn't be anything that we would have to handle. They charge, like if my bill's $100, when I process my $100 payment, I'll pay $100 plus the 2.95%.
Does that affect people who have like automatic draft?
No, which is the benefit. If they don't want to pay those fees, they can set up for draft. We do have that.
I mean, that's really true.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the draft that costs you nothing.
Absolutely.
But if you choose to use your credit card, it's a cost of, it's just a cost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's charging, I charge you the options.
Everybody's charging.
I mean, if we're not gonna charge it, then give me a rebate, cause I'm paying cash.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair's fair.
I mean,
I think we charge it.
I don't have a problem with charging it, but.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's a convenience fee.
It is. It is. It honestly is. If we can make that in motion, I can go ahead and get that moving forward, and we can have that changed over.
Barbara's not here, you want her to make it?
Yeah. I'm not gonna make it.
I would entertain a motion to charge whatever the rate is, not make anything, just
Right.
exactly what it costs us, whatever it is.
Well, it would actually be paid directly to the company. It wouldn't even be a
Okay.
pass-through for us.
If anybody would be so inclined.
So moved.
Larry, be a good time you speak up.
Second.
Okay, thanks. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried.
Okay. All right. Any questions that you guys have outside of that?
Okay.
One other thing, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. I did talk to Troy today, and I apologize, David, I wasn't on the phone with you either, but, we talked about the possibility of where everyone is on voluntarily, putting a restriction on water. There is not a restriction anywhere else in Davidson County right now, but we are watching that, we're monitoring, make sure where the levels are. We've not had significant rain, but, Davidson Water doesn't have one, Thomasville or Lexington, and they're upstream from us. So we feel like we're in pretty good shape if they're not. If we see it start to trickle down, we'll have to start.
And we do have a policy in place, I think.
We have
Your
those,
guess is it.
we have like different levels, different
Right.
tiers, but we've not seen anybody else initiate that yet. So just to let you guys know.
Commissioners' comments. Commissioner Bean, Commissioner Ward,
Nothing.
Commissioner Grubb.
I talked to Paul today,
Oh, yeah.
Paul Briggs, and he's behind, but the ball is in his court, he says, and he realizes that, and he will have something by the next meeting, and he's just got to get his engineers to look at it and that kind of thing.
Mr. Hicks, okay. Hearing none, seeing none. We'll be in closed session.